welcome. Happy Tuesday. I am here with my friend Frank Stewart from the Positive Thought Alliance and the Choose to Win Conference Series. Frank Stewart is a mentor for top performers and for those that want to become top performers. Thank you so very much, Frank, for being with me today. How are you?
Hey, thank you so much, Carmen, for asking me to come over and hang out with you a little bit here. And it's my pleasure, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm doing fantastic. I actually love the heat and the summertime weather. The humidity, maybe not so much, right? But the heat and I get along just fine, so it's all good.
That's awesome. So 2020, what's that look like for you, Frank?
Wow, 2020. You know what's the best part about 2020 is that we have the second half of the year to go, right? And the first half was, hey, we're through it, right? We're already through it. So we're coming out. We're leaner. We're meaner. We've had a little time for reflection. We've had time to grow, develop, to re-strategize, and now it's time to implement, right? Or hopefully sometime soon, right? Things are outside of our control, but 2020 is a great year. It's a new decade. This year started out, if you remember, back in January, I had the Roar or Snore conference there at the Hard Rock. Did you?
Yeah.
I don't think you attended that, did you?
No.
Well, we packed a house there at the Hard Rock. It was a great conference. We had a lot of fun. Sean Donovan and I presented over there at the Roxy Room in the Hard Rock on January 10th. So my year got started out really big. I had 3 big speaking engagements the first week in January, and then some family issues happened, and then COVID. And so it's just been a unique year, but it's also been a year to contemplate and think and reflect, the direction of which we want to go forward in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, if you can take this time, right, that we've either been quarantined or that we're not able to do the one-on-ones, maybe we're spending more time at home just because we're working from home, and you start to write a list of all those things that you said you wanted to get to, or honestly, I tell people all the time, a personal goal that isn't work related, isn't, hanging out related, isn't whatever. And maybe you can start to check some things off the list, and you'd be so surprised how amazing 2020 could actually be, right?
I couldn't agree more. You have to roll with what comes your way, right? You got to expect the best, prepare for the worst, and then maximize what comes. And so whatever comes your way, just be ready.
So interesting that quote that you just said, that is our Fast Signs theme for the year. So our CEO, Catherine.
No way.
Yeah. She put that quote out. So it's a Zig Ziglar quote, right? Zig Ziglar?
It's a Tom Ziglar quote.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom modified it. It used to be Zig's. Yes, Zig had it, but he had capitalize on what comes instead of maximize. And so Tom switched the word from capitalize to maximize because he felt that it had a better feel or meaning for today's generation.
Well, she right when COVID happened, that was how she started our theme for what we called the new year, and we've kind of stayed consistent to that. So she's a big Zig Ziglar fan. And tell us a little bit about what your ties are to the Zig Ziglar crew and your speaking.
Okay, well, right on. I graduated from Oklahoma State. I'm from Oklahoma originally, and 1988. So my first couple of years were food and beverage. I was a Tiki Hut beach bartender on Sanibel Island for Hilton, and then I went up to Hilton Head and worked at a comedy club there for a while. And but when I got serious about my professional career, just a couple of years after that, I worked with Xerox in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Tulsa is real close to Dallas, and a lot of things in Tulsa is it's like a mini Dallas. So Zig would come up and do training. So I actually got to meet the Ziglar family and got to go to a training program with Zig there in Tulsa for Xerox. And so at that time, you got cassette tapes and workbooks, and things like that. And he had a book out called Born to Win and the Secrets of Closing the Deal. So Zig kind of became my mentor. I used to listen to cassette tapes of Zig Ziglar talking about hope and encouragement and character and integrity and being able to learn the true profession of sales. And so I became very familiar with it. And so Zig, he has a saying. His core philosophy is that if you just help enough other people get what they want in life, you're going to get everything you want. In fact, the quote goes, I reverse it because I always like to put the needs of others first. But Zig says you can get everything you want in life if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. But
Yep.
so that is essentially just a golden rule from the Bible applied to business, right? And so that really struck home to me, and all the teachings and the character and integrity based sales initiative efforts that he ingrained into me stayed with me my whole career. And so I moved into vacation ownership with Marriott and Wyndham, and it's much different than timeshare when you represent a brand like a Marriott or a Wyndham, because it's vacation ownership, and it means because it's not just a one-time opportunity to earn somebody's business; it's a lifelong relationship that you're building, whether they say yes or not. It's about advertising down the road or an opportunity to earn their business later on. So so that Ziegler philosophy just really did so much to me, and then helped my career and helped me grow and develop as a sales manager and a project director. And so when the hurricanes came through here, back in 16, it was so catastrophic. We had everybody scrambled, particularly on the beach. And I was working with Wyndham at the time, and Wyndham had transferred me from Orlando over here to Daytona to run the Ocean Walk sales center there for the front line. And that was in 2014, 2013, 14, 15, and then in 16 when the hurricanes hit, we had to we were closed down, unexpectedly, and I had some time on my hands, and I thought, I've been wanting to kind of transition out of corporate America and fly my own flag and have my own brand and be able to provide a resource of training and teaching and sales guidance and really my tagline of a mentor for top performers and for those who want to become top performers. I have 19 years of sales management experience in an intangible product on a one-call close situation where people are actually bribed for 90 minutes of their time. So it's one of the most difficult things to do in sales is to operate in an environment like that, a high-pressure one-call close. So to me, it was so nice to be able to train and teach sales teams like that. But I wanted more out of life, and so when I had the free time, I was already wanting to create my own, organization. So I knew that the Ziegler family had this Ziegler Legacy Certified Training Program, and I'd done some research on it, and I really liked it. And I called out and talked to Tom Ziegler, and I passed their whole character, reputation, background check, and everything like that. And I called him up and I said, Tom, I've got the time. I want to come out and do, to Dallas and hang out with you guys. And he's like, Frankie, come on out. So they made room for me, and I got fitted into class number 12, and I'm one of a couple hundred in the world that get to represent the Ziegler family for all the Ziegler material that's ever been created. I
That's
get to
amazing.
use in my own capacities, and the new stuff that's coming out. Like, for example, the Top Performance. This is a brand new training material for businesses. It's a B2B. At Ziegler, we have B2C and B2B. Top Performance is literally half of the best Ziegler material ever created, specifically for sales in businesses, and for building winning relationships and building the best you within a career spoke of the wheel of life, right? So I went out there and I had a lot of fun with the Zieglers, and that was about 4 years ago. And I got certified to train and speak, and it's been an amazing experience. I like to call it soaring with the eagles.